back to my channel, Dallas's Eagle Nest. Today, as you can see, I'm smiling because I finally got the Wizarding Almanac. So I'm very excited about this. On the way home, I was looking through it. This has actually been on hold for some time. And the reason I have not been able to pick it up or do a video on it is because I could not go pick it up. Due to living in the South, we had some pretty bad weather come through a couple weeks ago, and things got shut down, and I just wasn't able to go pick it up until today. So when I picked it up, I was so happy to be able to finally share with y'all, for those who have not seen this book. On my way home, of course, I pulled it out, started reading it, started looking at it, and the pictures in this are phenomenal. The information, if you are a Harry Potter fan, big, small, and you collect the Harry Potter books or anything Harry Potter, you definitely need to get this book. There are things that I didn't personally know that I do know now, but I mean, if you open it up, you'll first see Hedwig. Very good picture of her, and then you just start flipping through it. And it tells you things like, this right here is just a storyline, as far as when Voldemort was able to come in. Of course, when you get your letter, and then that right there is what you would pack for Hogwarts. This right here is talking about the family and friends that were around Harry Potter. So at first you got Harry Potter here, and then you've got like Godric's Hollow, where he was born, and then it goes up to the like when he went on the train and all that. And this right here is just gorgeous illustrating. I forgot who done the illustration, but each of the characters, like this right here, talks all on this 2 pages right here, y'all. Talks all about Hermione Granger. There's one about Neville Longbottom. There's one about Luna Lovegood. It's just fascinating what you learn on here. There's even 2 pages full about Rubeus Hagrid. It even tells you what color their eyes are. And his eyes are blue. Did y'all know that? Did you even know? And let's do something while I'm talking about this book. Put in the comments below, what is your Patronus? And what is your house? And if you don't know that, you should go to pottermore.com and do the test. And they'll tell you what your Patronus is and what your house is. But put in the comments below, y'all. I'd love to see who is Ravenclaw, who is Gryffindor, what Patronus you have. Now, I have Ravenclaw, as many of y'all know, that those who are new to my channel, I am a Ravenclaw, and my Patronus is a Black Swan. So put in the comments below if yours is a Black Swan too, or if you're a Ravenclaw. And my wand is the Elder Wand. So also tell me that too in the comments. What is your wand? I'd love to know. This right here is talking about beyond the magic, and then it goes into right here. It talks about not talking to muggles and what the muggles can see and what they can't. Now, for those who don't know, if you are a squib, that means you are a muggle that have ability to see magic, but you can't perform it. You can't take a wand and do your spells, but you can see it, just like Jacob in the Fantastic Beasts movies. He was a squib. That did not mean he was a wizard. He could not perform the spells, but he could see things. Like, if you're a muggle, you can't see Hogwarts. It's a abandoned building, but he could, so that meant he was a squib. He could see magical things. He just could not perform the magic. And that's amazing. This right here is talking about all the Harry Potter Wizarding news. There right there, it talks about the Quidditch World Cup and the terror that happen. They even talk about the Quibbler. That's cool to me. This right here is talking about all the brooms and the ways to travel. They talk about the night bus. They have a whole section about the night bus. I think that's cool in itself. They talk about, right here is all the treats that you can get at Honeydukes. I think this is awesome. It also talks about how they celebrate stuff, the Yule Ball. This right here is talking about the clothing. So if you ever was interested in how they dress, whether it be the robes, what type of stuff they use, it talks about the Weasley's family sweaters that Miss Molly Weasley does. This one right here, this whole page right here talks about the Quidditch World Cup. And then on this side, it talks about Quidditch. So it talks about like how they play, the ball, the flying utensils, everything everything that you would think of. This one right here is talking about places that they have. And then right here it says the Wizarding World through the ways. So it's like different styles, and a lot of these are, you have to push them like this to be able to see. So it's not, this is talking about Diagon Alley. Like right here it says that talks about how much things are in Diagon Alley. This one right here says that's 3 galleons and 9 sickles. So if you're not interested, if you're not familiar with Muggle money, to us is not the same as our wizarding money. They have galleons and sickles, where we have pennies and nickels and stuff like that. And then right here, it's actually the shops of Diagon Alley. You see it right there, all the shops. And again, whoever designed this book is awesome. The illustration is just right on point. Right here, again, I'm not going to go through everything. I'm not going to read everything to y'all. If you have a Barnes & Noble, I suggest you run, not walk. Be very careful to get this book. This one right here talks about the wands and whose wand is with who. And sometimes you'll have to, it talks about Rubeus Hagrid's wand, Ron's wand. It talks about Harry Potter's wand, Hermione Granger's wand. It even talks about James, his dad's wand, and Lily's wand, and Tom Riddle, which we all know is Lord Voldemort's wand. It also talks about the Weasley's shop. So it really covers everything. And when I say everything, it covers everything. This is number 12, Grinwell Place. So it even shows you the levels in Sirius Black's home, which was also given from him to Dumbledore to use as the Order of the Phoenix hideaway. It talks about the Weasley house, the Burrow. It talks about which level, what Ron's room looks like, the ghost in the attic. And for those who haven't read the book, yes, there is an actual ghost in their home that they talk about. It talks about Hogsmeade Village right here. Now this one right here was astounding to me. This, if y'all can see that, is every layer of what Hogwarts is. So there's actually dungeons, the first level, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh. There is 7 layers to Hogwarts. If y'all don't know that, that is 7 layers. 7. Now, I'm amazed. I did not know that Hogwarts was that big. I did not know that many levels. Now, they even talk about the ghost of Hogwarts. Each ghost, it talks about each of them. The Grey Lady, the Bloody Baron. They even have Dumbledore's office in here. That is, to me, just awesome, awesome, awesome. Now, I am a fan. Let me see if I can find it. I am a huge, and I mean, when I say huge, y'all, I mean huge fan of anything of Marauder's Map. Now, I was very excited to see that they included the Marauder's Map in here. And it has some interesting facts about the Marauder's Map. Now, one that I did not know was the Chamber of Secrets and the room's requirement does not, and it will never show up on the Marauder's Map. But if you really think about it, those two areas were supposed to be secret places. No one was supposed to know about them. And the room requirement was only supposed to show itself if somebody had real need of the room. It would show itself. So that's understandable why it's not going to show. Plus, think about it, y'all. Chamber of Secrets. Yeah, that's not going to show up on the map. But it was interesting because the map also, if you are in your invisible cloak or you have a disguise on, it don't matter. It's going to show who you really are. So if you're trying to escape or leave the castle and say Professor McGonagall gets a hold of this map or one of the other teachers and they need to find out where you are, it does not matter if you are in that cloak or you're in a disguise and you're trying to sneak out, they're going to know it because the Marauder's Map will always show the true self of you. So it does not matter. It also shows all of the professors, everyone and what they teach. Now, as you can tell, that this right here got scratched out, this got scratched out. That means that they are no longer there. Then you've got the owl grade, how they grade things. And again, I can't say enough about the illustration on this. Dumbledore's army. It even talks about Dumbledore's army and what they've done and everything. It's amazing. Right here, it talks about potions. It talks about the different potions. It talks about how somebody would make something. And then you got the defense against the dark arts here. That, to me, is awesome as well. Now, I keep having to turn this book this way, and if y'all can't see, I'm sorry. But most of the pages are not like a normal book. You can't just sit it like this. You have to turn it up, like kind of like a calendar, just because that's the way they had it. I am really surprised. It even talks about werewolves, and it talks about the Time Turner. And I think that's just awesome because Professor Lupin was a werewolf. And it talks about how each moon setting causes what phase he would be in. The Time Turner, it talks about right here. It talks about how Hagrid had it and stuff. It talks about the Mirror of Erised. It talks about the dark magic. And of course, this one is a little bit darker. And I do apologize, y'all. But this right here is just amazing. You kind of have to get close to it to read it. And honestly, the way that it is, I'm wanting to turn off the light in a few minutes. Maybe not here on camera, but I'll tell you in another video. But I want to know if this, since it's the dark arts, if this actually glows in the dark. I think it does, but I'm not entirely sure. Then it talks about the Patronuses, each Patronus, and what it represents and what it stands for. Let's see if I can find mine. No, it's not going to show that, but it shows like what's Ron's, what is Harry's, what is Tonks's. Professor McGonagall is a cat, which that makes sense. She can turn herself into a cat, so I'm not surprised there at what it shows there. Then it talks about the Ministry of Magic here. It talks about how you can get there. The wait list. It talks about the misuse of Muggle artifacts, which, as we all know, Arthur Weasley. This is another page that you kind of have to turn, but it has each level of the Ministry of Magic and what which level goes with what and what they do. Like the first one I can tell you is the right here is the Ministry of Magic's office. That's where he would do his stuff. And then it goes down to Department of Magical Law Enforcement. So there would be like the Aurors there. And then you have Ministry of Magical Accidents. So if you have an accident, or if, you know, that would be something. Also, something I did not know, and I read in here, and it says, it is against the law to apprehend without a license, and you had to be 17 or older, which makes sense. They don't want you to apprehend somewhere you shouldn't, and they want to, I guess, make sure you know what you're doing before you get there. And then here is the Gringotts Bank. Now, most of y'all know from the movies we see as far as down, but this is what normal people would see, and this is what all the goblins see. And then back here, this is actually the Wizarding World's hospital. So this is where Neville Longbottom's parents would be, because they were used, they had the Cruciatus curse put on them. They even talk about the Prisoner of Azkaban. They talk about where it's located, who's been there, all that. They even have Sirius Black right here, which, in my opinion, that is not a good picture of him. But then they talk about the Order of the Phoenix here and all the members. Now, on this side right here is all of the older ones, like James and Lily Potter. Now, over here would be like Harry, Fred and George, the ones that were new, the new generation ones. And I think that's just awesome that they included the old and the new, so you kind of knew who followed the footsteps of their parents. Now, this is all talking about the wizarding pets that people would have at Hogwarts. Now, like, that would be Crookshanks. That would be Harry's owl. And then there's the rat. We all know who that would be, Peter Pettigrew. But it talks about all the animals and what they can do. Now, these are also household pets that people in the wizarding world can have, or that they would see in a household. Now, this is talking about the dragons. So, of course, we all know from the fourth movie, there was dragons they had to fight. So this each talks about each one of those, and ones that maybe we've never seen before. And then this right here talks about the water people, like the what was in the lake. And just a fun fact for those who do not know, but the Black Lake was kind of like a safe place for the mer people and for the other animals and creatures in there, because that was a safe haven. They didn't have to worry about somebody coming and snatching them or anything like that, because of course we all know Hogwarts had a spell against it, so people that were muggles or non-magic folk couldn't see and go and kill them. So it was a safe haven. It was a safe place for them. This right here is how to care for the magical creatures. And I think that would be great. That's probably talking a lot about what probably Newt's commander did. And then we have all of Hagrid's pets, including Aragog. And then this one really blew me away. Now you think this is just 2 pages, right? Well, we're just going to flip it open, and it goes all the way back. And it shows centaurs, it shows the unicorns, it shows bowtruckles. Now on this side, it's going to show Aragog. So this book is truly a Harry Potter fan favorite book that I would recommend anybody that is Harry Potter fan. I really think that you would enjoy it and put it with your collection. I collect Harry Potter books. Anything that has anything to do with the Wizarding World, I get it. And I'm really sad I didn't get to grab this earlier, but like I said, we had a lot of snow and ice down here in Mississippi, and we really couldn't go anywhere. It was very, very cold. Thankfully, we did not have a pipe bust at my house or anything like that, so we're good. But I knew this was on hold, and I really hated I couldn't go get it, but I have it now. And then we go into Hobbology. And it also talks about my favorite, mandrakes, and how they can become seedlings and what they look like as an adult. I really like mandrakes, and I know I've showed you guys this, but I've got this right here, which is Hedwig, and it's a Noble collection. The next one I get that's in a box like that is going to be the mandrake. I just got to wait until I can go out of town to the Barnes & Noble to get it. I know they have the mandrake, and I really want to get it. So, and then it talks about, in the back of the book, it talks about every character that was in each of the movies. And then, of course, they did not forget to leave out Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. And it shows you the different locations that they were in. I just really, y'all, if you don't have this book, you need to run. You need to go get it. I promise you. There's tons and tons of stuff. I couldn't, even if I had a whole day, I probably wouldn't be able to get through this whole book to share with you what everything says in this book. As you can see, it's really thick. It is really heavy. But it is something that you guys would love. I absolutely love it. It even goes through each of the houses. Starting with this page right here. It shows what the sorting hat will say. If you're in Ravenclaw, if you get into Gryffindor. And then like, turning back here, starting here, it goes through what a Gryffindor means, a Slytherin means, of course, Hufflepuff right here, and then Ravenclaw. So, if you ever wanted to know what something meant in your house, you can look through here. The interesting thing that I found out when I was reading this book is that Gryffindor, Hufflepuff, and Slytherin, all they have to say once they get up there and they do their little magic is say a password. Of course, we see that in the movies. But one thing that is kind of special about Ravenclaw is that we, as Ravenclaw, we have to say an answer to a riddle. The only way you can get into the Ravenclaw common room is a riddle. It says a riddle, and you have to answer the eagle. It has a bronze eagle, and you have to hit it, and then it says the riddle that you have to answer, and if you can't answer it, then... But another fun fact is that our beloved McGonagall, even though she is a Gryffindor, for those who do not know, when she was putting the sorting hat on, the sorting hat had a lot of time with her because it really wanted to place her in Ravenclaw, but it didn't. It placed her in Gryffindor. And she is the only professor to be able to get in to the Ravenclaw common room, except for our Professor Flitwick, which is head of Ravenclaw. But she is the only professor besides Professor Flitwick that can get in. And I think that's just interesting. But knowing that the sorting hat was going to place her in Ravenclaw before he placed her in Gryffindor, I think that would make everyone understand why she can get in there. But I'm pretty sure the head, Dumbledore or whoever is the head of Hogwarts now, which would be Professor McGonagall, she can get into probably any of them. She probably wouldn't want to go back down to the dungeons where Slytherin house is, but, if there was an emergency, that's how they would get in. And I just thought that was interesting that every other house, that all they have to say is a password and they get in. But it is to promote learning. So they have to really think before they can get into their house. So I would hate to be, I'm a Ravenclaw, but I would hate to be a very sleepy, tired Ravenclaw trying to get into bed and you're not really thinking, and you don't know the answer and all you want to do is sleep and then you fall asleep. I would hate that. But, if you're a Ravenclaw, then you should know the answer. Today, that was what I wanted to show you. I am super, super happy about getting this. I do have some other books on hold that I am going to share with y'all once I get them. But this right here is about $40. So, if that's not in your price range, then wait until it goes on sale. Maybe Books A Million will put it on sale. But now I get my books from a local bookstore called Friendly City Books. They are awesome. Awesome. So shout out to them. If you are in the Columbus, Mississippi area, please go out there and tell them I sent you. Tell them that Dallas sent you, and they will hook you up. Now, I had to order this from them. It takes about a week. They called. But you can find this on Amazon. You can find this on Books A Million. You can go to Barnes & Noble. Any bookstore should have this. I've even seen this at Walmart. Now, like I said, it is $40, but it is so worth it. If you are a Harry Potter fan, you should go out and get it. I promise you, you will learn so much that it's not even funny. I just in 30 minutes of just flipping through this, I learned a lot more. Like the Ravenclaw thing. I didn't know that they didn't just give a password. Like the Gryffindor or Slytherin, they actually have to answer, and that's how they promote learning, because of course Ravenclaw is supposed to be intelligent. That's why. But for any Harry Potter fan, if you have somebody's birthday coming up, maybe a niece, nephew, your daughter, son, anybody that loves Harry Potter, and you don't know what to get them this. This is awesome, and they will probably sit there and hug you and hug you and hug you. Because when I got it, I was like, yes, I finally got it. I was very happy, very pleased with this, And again, this is the inside of the book. And there's little Hedwig. She happens to be on almost everything. And this is what the inside looks like right here. And of course, if you flip it, it has, but you should go out and get this. Again, put it in the comments below if you have this, read it. Also, put it in the comments below. Y'all tell me what your house is. Are you Team Ravenclaw? Are you Team Gryffindor? Team Hufflepuff? Or Team Slytherin? Also, I would love to know what your Patronus is. Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see y'all next time. Y'all have a happy Harry Potter day.